The goal of this problem is take a look at a word problem and write the equation that matches up with it. So in this particular problem, it states Armando is golfing and hit the ball perfectly straight, and the ball followed a parabolic path. His ball reached a maximum height of 44 yards and a total distance of 214 yards. Find the graphing form equation of the path that the ball traveled. So graphing form equation of this path is a parabola. So what we are looking for is to fill in the information we need for a parabola graphing form equation. And hopefully you know well that the two things you really need are the vertex and the stretch factor. The information from the problem is going to help us find those three pieces of information, really, the A, the H, and the K. Where we're going to start here is with the vertex. Of course, the vertex is either the top or the bottom of the parabola. Depending upon the word problem, you might be at the bottom or something like that. And the other information we have is going to help us figure out what the H and the K are. So first of all, we know that the height of this is 44 yards. So right there, we're able to know that the K value, or the Y value of the vertex, is 44. Also, we have these other two important pieces of information. This is our starting point, is going to be 0, 0, and this point over here is 214, 0. And this problem kind of already has a graph kind of given to you, but every single one of these word problem type examples, you're going to start your parabola, whether it goes up or down, doesn't matter, you're going to start it at the coordinate point 0, 0. These 2 points are opposite of each other, and we're going to call those points working points. That will allow us to find our A value in a second here. So there are working points, but for right now what they help us do is figure out where this vertex is. Because this graph has symmetry, because it's a parabola, we know that smack dab in the middle is going to be the X value of that vertex, which would be 107. Because 0 to 214, the middle of that is 107. So from right there, we have our H and our K already. We really haven't done all that much other than just reading the problem. So that means what we're going to do is write out the information that we know into our equation. So we have Y equals A, and then you have X minus H. So we have X minus H, and H is 107, so we're going to put minus 107. That's going to be squared because it's a parabola, and you have plus 44. That is important stuff. All we really have left to figure out is that stretch factor. The best, most consistent way to find an A value is by plugging in one of those working points. We happen to have two of them here on the left and the right side. In the world of mathematics, you don't necessarily need to have two of them. It could be anywhere on this parabola. It doesn't have to be on the left and the right side. Any other coordinate point on this parabola can be used as a working point. Pick one of them. It doesn't matter. I like to pick this one over here on the right side. So that means I'm going to plug 214 in for X because that's an X value that I know and a Y value that I know. So I'm going to plug 0 in for Y here. I'm going to keep my colors the same here. So I have A times X, but now X is really 214. So that's 214 minus 107, quantity squared, and plus 44. From there, we are going to work out this equation. We have written equation. The only thing we have left to solve for that we don't know in it is A, so that's important. So you can use a calculator to help you get there, and that's kind of went away here, so get in the calculator. And as you use that calculator, you're going to do is just plug in the information that you know. And so right now I have to figure out what this 214 minus 107 squared is. So 214 minus 107, well, that's of course going to be 107. And then you got those parentheses around it, so you can square that answer, so you get 11,449. So we have 0. It's supposed to be a 0. 0 is equal to A, I don't know yet, is equal to 11,449. And I still have this plus 44. It's very important, I think, that this A value sits here in your equation. A lot of students try to write this problem out without putting this A value here. They try to skip around it. I do believe it's really important to be able to show your work there. So you're going to subtract your 44 to the other side here to allow us to be able to now divide, because we have negative 44 This is an A, and I kept those parentheses here because it's 11,449, and it's times that A value. So all I have left to do is then just divide by that 11,449 on both sides. And so that means I have negative 44 divided by 11,449, and this is my A value. So you can finish your equation. Y equals negative 0.0038. I'd like to go out to 4 decimals in this scenario because I got 2 zeros in the front. X minus 107 quantity squared plus 44. And that is your graphing form equation that creates this path. Vertex and stretch factor, what we're looking for. Take one of those working points. It doesn't matter which one. Your work would end up being the same, or your value here would end up being the same no matter which point you would choose anywhere on this parabola. Plug it in for what you know, which is the x and the y. Work backwards to solve for the one thing you don't, which is the A, and there you have your equation.